Welcome to Backpack HQ. Let's talk packs. This backpack is 511's Covert 18 2.0 32-liter backpack. As you know, 511 is another one of those top-of-the-line backpack companies, actually clothing and gear and equipment. They make really good stuff. They make a lot of equipment and gear that's aimed for military personnel, aimed for EMTs, paramedics, civil service, police, park ranger, all that kind of stuff. And they do a fairly okay job. I've been back and forth with their equipment before, using it for office type school work stuff. I've used it for equipment stuff in the field as well. And it's sort of a love-hate with them. I don't necessarily hate them, but they also sometimes aren't my favorite. This bag, though, I really do like. This bag is one that is modular, interchangeable, usable. I do like their backpacks a lot. They've had several backpacks that they've come out with that have been fairly good. When it comes to backpacks and most of their gear, though, they do a really solid job. It's up there with Vertex. It's up there with Everly Stock. It's a brand name that you're going to know and love. They have some people that are brand loyal. Going to be a little bit more pricey, but usually aren't gambling on quality when it comes to 511. This bag is all 500D and 820D nylon. Most of the blue and tan that you see is going to be the 500. You get some 800 on the straps. There's some 800 on the inside. And I believe the water bottle pockets are the only thing that's a little bit different. It's kind of a more stretchy material. This bag is great because it has some unique abilities to it. I wanted this bag for an urban office school environment. I went back to school to get a degree, and I was going to be on campus that's in a more urban environment. I didn't want to stick out like a sore thumb with some military grade backpack. I didn't necessarily need that either. I wanted it to just be able to carry my books, carry some extra gear, and I knew that I was going to be in the field a lot for the program that I was going to school for. We were outside a lot. There was a lot of in the field kind of work for geology, geography, criminal justice, all that kind of stuff that we were outside for. So I needed a bag that could do both. What I really liked about this bag is that it has this front pocket here, so I could put jackets in here. I live in Colorado, and the time of year that I was in school, I never knew if it was going to rain or snow or both, and then be 70 by the afternoon. So having a rain jacket or at least a coat, a hoodie, something is a must. You could put water reservoirs in here if you need to. It does hold a full Nalgene water bottle on both pockets. It's compression, so it's really, really easy to get in there. And there's two of those. There's one on each side. I loved that about the bag. This front pocket was great because it holds a lot of like admin gear. What I held in this bag was, it's super customizable. So what I held in here was a lot of medical equipment. I know you might laugh at that, right? So why do you need a bunch of medical equipment if you're at school? Well, we were out in the field a lot. We were out training. We were out walking around. There was a lot of hikes. Some days we did 6-7 mile hikes that we were doing to go out and examine stuff around the surrounding areas. You never know if you're going to fall, break a leg, bust a pinky. You need a Band-Aid, or you fall onto a stick and impale yourself, or God forbid, somebody has a bad day at school and shows up with a weapon. The campus I went to has had that event multiple times. I live in Colorado. It's known for that kind of thing at schools, unfortunately. So I wanted to be fairly prepared when it came to medical gear. I was able to stuff a lot of stuff in here. There's gauze, gloves. I have a CPR mask, tourniquet, some actual stuff that can actually stop the bleeding. Some gunshot wound kit stuff just in case. I have some trauma shears, and there's also some like a Band-Aid kit that I would keep in there too, because that's probably what I'm going to need the most, but it allows you to be fully prepared. If you're going to use this bag for just regular school stuff, then hey, you can throw pens, pencils, calculators, electronics, if you need chargers, all that kind of stuff. But with the MOLLE system that's already included in there, I was able to do medical. That's something I'm never going to fray from. I'm never going to step away from. I believe in having all that stuff, because when you need it and you don't have it, it's a terrible time. If I never need it, but I have it, I'm more prepared. So I'll always carry that kind of stuff. They do have, this also has a CCW pouch that you can have internal It's just sort of, it's almost the whole size of the backpack internally. There is Velcro in there as well. So if you have a holster like the Klinger or a Velcro style holster from Vertex, then you can put that in there. And if CCW is your thing, you can choose to do that. That zipper also tucks away as well. The zippers are all YKK. They do a great job with them. All of them are threaded on the pole. None of them are metal pull tabs, which again I like, because it's not a loud bag. You're not jingling all around everywhere. You have the ability to remain somewhat silent as you're walking in case if that needs to be something that you need to do. The orange tabs I switched around to be some of my most important ones. So again, the medical and then just the regular pouch is my orange tabs. It comes with some other color tabs. I changed them out since they are just the threaded ones. You can change them to whatever you want to, which again, I like that, because if you want black or red or white, whatever you see better, all colors of the rainbow, whatever you want, you can change that on these bags. Some of their identification for 511, there is one right here. I'm not going to pull it out because it's a little difficult to get back in, but there is a slot right here that you can put this orange tab. It just says 511, but you can hide that. So if you don't want this bag to look too sort of military or whatever you're using it for, it can be hidden in that way. So a little bit more civilian style backpack. The dimensions of the bag are 19 by 10 by 6.5. I only found that the 6.5 is true for this main pouch, which we'll get into here, but from the back of the bag to the front of the pouch is the 6.5. But if you have jackets and water or anything in this compression pouch, and then also if you have this admin pouch stuffed up, you can easily be, I mean, just this right here was measured at 8 inches, but you could easily be closer to the 9-inch sticking out from your back, depending on how much you stuff this bag. Again, I think that's great because it allows it to be fairly modular. This is kind of a one backpack fits all. You can use this in an office setting. You can use this as an outdoor setting. I have been able to load this backpack out knowing that I'm going to be in an urban environment on a campus or in an office building for almost 8 hours of the day, but then maybe 2 or 3 hours that day is going to be outdoors, hiking and in the field. And I think that's great that this bag is super modular for that. I don't have to change out anything. I can preload this the night before or even the morning of and know that like I can bring everything that I need to for that day. This pouch has retention through these tabs here. These are all YKK. Again, that can fit jacket, water, all that stuff. And then if you need it to be tighter, you just clip it and then you can pull here. The only bummer that I don't like about this type of retention for this front pouch is that in order to open this main pouch, you have to unclip these side ones because otherwise the zippers can't come all the way through. I mean, they can, but you have to like almost stop yourself, get under, and then pull again. Wasn't really a huge fan of that, so I just would have to leave it open and then clip it back and forth. Not a big fan. 511 did used to make a bag called the AMP pack, the All Missions pack. That was a really good bag as well. I really liked that one. That bag, what happened with that front pouch is that it velcroed to the front and then just had 2 little retainer clips that you could just pull out and then rip the velcro off. I think that is so far the most that I've liked out of all bags that I've seen. I wish that this was velcro because then I could just take it off if I need it. If I am in the office or if I'm driving somewhere and I see someone injured or God forbid something happens at a school or downtown or wherever you're at, then I could just take the medical stuff that I need and pull it off. And it's also compiled with that CCW style pouch is the backside of this bag here. So then everything I would need to help others and to help myself and to get out safely would be in that one pouch instead of having to bring this whole bag with me. Because there's no way to do that. It doesn't come off. So if this was just Velcro, I could just take it and go, as opposed to needing to carry everything. Carrying a bag with books and computers and all that other stuff can be cumbersome and heavy sometimes. The main pouch is just a main pouch. It opens up fairly wide to a full capacity here. And then it has these 2 zipper pockets in there. They're mesh. They're great, so you can see inside of them. I still have some pens and pencils and stuff in there. And there's 2 of them in there. And then the pouch is just a larger, this whole bag is 35 liters. So this larger pouch is 30, and then you get about 5 within everything else that it can hold. Also on the front of this, I skipped over this, on the front of the bag is a sunglasses bag pouch. It does hold sunglasses or glasses, whatever you need it to. I think that's nice, sort of separated. And it's got the 800D nylon on there, so it's a little more padded right here. And since on the back side is a pouch with stuff, it's a little thicker there too, so it doesn't puncture or come through. I've noticed they do just a little bit of padding inside that pouch, which is really, really nice. All the stitching around here, everything is double stitched. Literally everything I'm seeing is double stitched. And you can tell on double stitching because there will sometimes just be a single strand, but it can still come back through and be double stitched. That's how a lot of this is here on the side pouches and on the compression stuff there. It's all double stitched everywhere. You're not going to have too many issues with this stuff ripping and coming out. I mean, obviously, the heavier you load your bag, the more potential there is for tears. You're resisting gravity a lot more. So with a standard load of about 3 to 4 books, I was in the city and on campus all day for about 8 hours, so I had to take everything with me. I had a computer, 3 or 4 books, 3 or 4 notebook, lunch, food, and stuff for the field, jacket, water. I had all that stuff in this bag and never had an issue with any of it tearing. This bag's been in the field. I've dropped it on the ground. It's rolled away from me before. I had a computer in there when I've set it on the ground. I wouldn't recommend slamming it, but it held up fairly well. So this bag is great for those sort of jobs where you might need to be inside and outside. Moving the bag around to the back side, this is where some of the most important stuff. The back side is where it's going to be sitting up against your body. It's going to be where it's holding against your shoulders, and with the straps, this is where it really matters if it's comfortable or not. 511 did a really good job of inserting padding into these. There's sort of like a mesh pattern that they put on where it contacts your skin. It doesn't really change the airflow. I get that it's mesh and it might help just a little bit, but you're still going to sweat in this if you're walking around and have it on your back. That's just a given with any bag, but it's still fairly comfortable. All this area here, all the way down to the waist, is all mesh. The shoulders are mesh all the way through. This back pocket that is back here is a full size pocket, the whole size of the backpack itself. There's my receipt. And you can fit some stuff back here. You can put a panel back here if you're one of those people that want to do so. If you want to put some protection back there, you can. They do have a dedicated laptop sleeve in the back here too on this side. I'm not a fan of having my backpack right up against my back. If I go down and fall on my bag or anything, I just don't want it right against my back. In the middle seems a little bit safer to me, but you can put a 14 or 15 inch laptop in there, and then there's some whatever you want to put in the back there. If you want padding, if you want panels, if you want protection, you can have that there. This back side is padded. At its thickest, there's about about a ½ inch of padding, and then at the thinnest part, there's maybe a 1/4 inch. There is a soft, sort of rigid frame in there, so this isn't going to bend too much. I mean, a little bit if you put some pressure on it, but it's got some rigidity so that when the bag is full, it can stand up on its own. It's not fully loaded out, so I can't show you that, but it'll just tip over. But when you have a little bit more sticking out here, I mean, you can see the bag stands. So I think that's great. It's great when you're setting it down, especially outside. And then the chest straps are basic chest straps. Clips, holds, pulls. It's only on this top one. This can come off if you need it to. You can take it off this one and put it on any of these other 2 straps there. This bag is great if you are someone who requires a bag that is a little more durable. If you're going from environments from indoor to outdoor a lot, I think this bag does wonders for you. They have different color schemes. You could get it in all black. I think they had like a gray one as well, and then I chose this tan and brown one because I knew I'd kind of be indoors, outdoors. I don't know if this bag is currently available anymore. Every backpack that I've gotten from 511, it seems like a year or 2 years later, it's not available anymore. I don't know exactly how the company works, if they're just shooting in the dark and they don't get a lot of good reviews on it, or if they're just constantly changing their minds and putting out new stuff. I know that their rush bags they have kept around for a while. That amp pack that I talked about earlier, that all missions pack with the Velcro patch on the front, that one is no longer available either, and I'm not able to find this one online available. I did buy this at Shields for, let's just check, $150. So I think that was pretty comparable with what you could get it for in the store as well or online. Again, not budget, not cheap. This is a premium bag. I would think anything over $100, you're paying premium. Everyone works hard for their money, so $100 is a lot. So again, if you're someone that is in the office and going outside, if you work for the city in just about any capacity, if you work for Parks and Recreation, if you work for as a park ranger, a police officer for sure, if you work in medical or fire, or you're an electrician or HVAC guy or whatever, and you need a bag that can hold your gear and maybe some administrative books and some journals and stuff, but you're going in and out of the office, I think this is a really, really good option. I think it's a really good bag. I've had a couple of 511's bags and I've actually liked them. Their customer service is pretty good. They're responsive online, so I do like their bags when I've been specific about choosing them. I haven't tried their Rush ones. Those are very military style forward, but I do like this as a sort of civilian in the field style bag. I think it works great. This is a really good bag for 150 bucks. I think you're getting quality. This 511 Covert 18 2.0 bag is HQ approved.